Good evening and welcome to the front line with Joe and Joe. This is Joe Resinello, and yes, Justin Trudeau will be voting for the baby boss. Why wouldn't he? Everyone else is. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Trudeau's in Calgary, of all places. He's got that cowboy hat he has to dust off every time he goes to Calgary to pretend like he is one of the people. But I digress. He's looking like he is being challenged there. He's got the why are you challenging a superior face on. Either that or he's constipated. Justin Trudeau's stumping with the cowboy hat. Justin, they're not buying it. They're screaming, get the WEF out of Canada. Play the clip.
See you all.
Are you Castro's son?
Is Uncle Klaus proud of you?
I know.
Get the WEF out of Canada!
Get the WEF out of Canada.
Justin, clearly you're not a cowboy. That's point one. The hat is simply not selling. Maybe if you had some beef jerky in one hand and a Budweiser, it would probably be a Bud Light in the other. Maybe people would buy it. Then again, probably not. Maybe Dylan Mulvaney would buy it. But the people of Canada, no, they're not buying it. Lose the cowboy hat, get some beef jerky, and stop drinking Bud Light. Justin Trudeau's looking for more photo ops. He's flipping pancakes. He's got that cowboy hat on. Play the clip.
There's no pressure. There we go. Golden brown. Here we go. Nice and
yeah, this one, here we go. That's the challenge. It'll be easier to exit once I slip away. Thank you so much for everything. Yahoo! There we go.
Justin, no one's buying it, and no one's eating those pancakes. Justin Trudeau's gathering large crowds at the Calgary Stampede. Just kidding. It's Pierre Poilievre. Play the clip.
Into paychecks for our people in this country again. We're going to remove the government gatekeepers that block our brilliant immigrants from working as doctors for the National Blue Chain Seal testing exam. Immigrant professionals will be able to prove their qualifications within 6.
While Trudeau is flipping pancakes, Poilievre is amassing large crowds. He's got a black hat and black glasses on. He looks pretty good in them. Trudeau's walking around with the white cap. Interesting. I'd like to see them in a duel. What do you think? Like Clint Eastwood style. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Who's the good, who's the bad, and who's the ugly? I think we got to get Jagmeet in there. He's clearly not the good or the bad. Maybe he's the ugly. Muslims in Calgary gather once again to protest Justin Trudeau. Play the clip.
Justin Trudeau is a joke! Justin Trudeau is a joke! Justin Trudeau is a joke! Leave our kids alone!
Justin Trudeau is a joke. It sounds so much more authoritative with a Middle Eastern accent. Justin Trudeau is a joke. Scary stuff. Danielle Smith tells Justin Trudeau that a net zero power grid is not possible by 2035. No kidding, Danielle. Justin Trudeau knows that too, but he's willing to take a pound of flesh from the Canadian people, trying to make it anyway. Play the clip.
The Prime Minister saying that we'd like to bring our emissions reduction and energy development plan with a target of carbon neutrality by 2050 in alignment with some of the objectives of the federal government. And that will require us to have some conversations about 3 areas that I don't think we have agreement on yet, but I hope to. We would like to establish a working group so that we could talk about how we might be able to achieve a net zero power grid, but I've indicated to the Prime Minister that that is not possible by 2035, which is the federal target. We've been told that by our experts here. We also know that an emissions cap or emissions reduction, such as the one that's been proposed, of 42% by 2030 would also result in essentially a production cap, which we don't think is realistic or feasible as well. And we know that the government had negotiated Article 6 into the Paris Climate Accord, which should allow for us to get a credit here for reducing emissions abroad. And we would like to be able to work with our partner in British Columbia and the government in order to be able to reduce emissions and get credit here through LNG export. And of course, I've also given him a letter to take away on our request that Parliament be recalled so that we can put an end to the port strike in BC, which is causing extreme hardship to our producers and our exporters here.
Couple points. Did you notice Trudeau, because he's in Danielle Smith's neck of the woods, has the rodeo shirt on rolled up as if he actually belongs there? That's point one. Point two, you just see him nodding? Yes, 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 yes. Ultimately, Danielle Smith is trying. I like her. I think she's good stuff. Justin Trudeau is as fake as the day is long. He's willing to strangle the Canadian people to reach a goal that, frankly, means nothing to the average person. It's a globalist ideology. And frankly, we all know that's what he's all about. And frankly, that shirt, Justin, it's got to go. Nobody's buying it. I would be more impressed if you rode into the meeting on a horse. Now we're talking fun. The shirt, though, no one's buying it. Canadians react to the price of gas. Play the clip. Oh, that's going to cost you. The price of beer went up too. Everyday Canadians comment on the gas hike. Play the clip.
With the introduction of the federal government's new clean fuel regulations, St. John residents are looking to get one last fill-up at a cheaper price.
I get why we're doing it, to try not to leave such an imprint on Mother Earth.
People are barely able to eat. You see the people all around St. John and all the tents and stuff like that. I think you want to raise gas? I don't know.
The new tax is projected to increase gas by 8 cents a litre overnight for New Brunswickers, which is double what it is for Nova Scotia drivers. But it comes on top of already high inflation rates, adding more financial stress on Maritimers who depend on their vehicle.
I think it's really important for the federal government certainly to understand those realities of living in Atlantic Canada and how, while it's important to reduce our emissions, and there are a lot of ways to do that, continually increasing the cost is going to have a disproportionate impact on Atlantic Canadians.
The impact is something residents aren't happy with.
Well, if it goes up because everyone's going to put the $20 in or pay 5 cents more, 10 cents, whatever it is. They need gas, they're going to pay for it.
The federal government has assured residents rebates are coming to help with the rising cost in fuel. Only problem is that first round of rebates aren't scheduled to roll out to New Brunswick residents until October.
Don't worry, Canada. You don't need gas. You could walk. If you don't walk, you could ride a horse. If you don't ride a horse, you could ride a bike. If you don't ride a bike, you can get in a rickshaw. If you don't have a rickshaw, you're out of luck. Tough crap. The grocery rebate is being called out, and it's not being defended well. It's nothing but political theatrics. Remember, Justin Trudeau's an actor, and a bad one at that. Play the clip.
So when I first got some of the highlights of the budget coming through, and some of the, I might say, copious leaks that came out that seemed to get to the media before it got to us, one of the things that seemed at least beneficial to the government in getting out there was the grocery rebate, which seemed to be, I was thinking maybe it'd be something to maybe reduce the carbon tax or to give individuals a benefit. But I'm really troubled. I can't see the difference between this and the GST rebate increase done the previous year. Can you tell me what's different about this grocery rebate than a GST rebate? Anyone?
If we look at the legislation, it's essentially the same.
So why would you call it a grocery rebate when it's just a GST rebate? Seems odd to me.
That's a decision for the government. I think when we go to grocery stores, we all find that prices are pretty high, but in terms of the mechanics, you're right.
So So there's no restriction that you have to, this is just for clarity, there's no restrictions on these rebates, these essentially, they are HST or GST rebates with respect to food or groceries, because I've had numerous constituents call my office as to asking me how this grocery rebate works. But just so you can clarify, there's absolutely no restrictions on how this money is spent, and it really has no connection to food whatsoever.
It'll be a payment that people receive.
Yeah, so there is no qualifications or conditions on this money. People can use this for whatever they want.
That's correct.
Okay, so this was just simply some cheap marketing that the Liberal government put out there to help them, I guess, maybe push back some of the trouble that people are feeling right there as food has, in some cases, doubled in cost over the last couple of years. We're at food inflation consistently near or above 10%, continue to be a challenge, and this Liberal government's response is cheap marketing. I think we know where that goes.
Notice when you ask someone a question, a direct question that requires a black and white answer, they can't answer it. You see, that's what the press doesn't do with Justin Trudeau, because they're working side by side with him. People have to corner him, call him out, basically bulldoze him in the corner with hard questions. It's not being done because the Uniparty is against the people, because the press is working with the Uniparty. Your government needs to be taken back. They're not going to give it to you. And frankly, you're not going to vote yourself out of it. Canada needs a reawakening. God, family, country, and all people of goodwill have to join together. Put down your differences, put down your hate for each other, and come together and take your government back, because they're not going to give it back to you. Let's look at the housing crisis in Canada. In the Greater Victoria region, for $1,600 a month, you get to live in a 300 square foot shed. Not too bad, if you don't mind the snowblower and a rake next to your bed, but pretty good deal. I think you got something going on there. You should go for it. I want you to look at this picture of Freeland. Best GDP in the G7, inflation down, job numbers up. Yeah, and your people can't eat. They can't afford nothing. These people are delusional. They are delusional. And frankly, too many people tell themselves that everything is okay. Meanwhile, they can't afford food, and soon they'll be eating bugs. But it's okay. Everything's okay. Nothing to see here. Jagmeet got the memo from Justin. He tweets out the profits made by grocery corporations are up. No kidding, Jagmeet. But so are the prices you pay. Really? While you pay more, they make more. Jagmeet, listen, I know you're working with Trudeau. Everyone knows that. You're doing the blocking. He's the running back. You're dividing the Conservative vote. He moves forward. We get it. But let me explain a few things to you, because you say this time and time again. Let me just explain it. I hope you listen to it. Maybe the corporations are leveraging the situation you created because of the carbon tax. They're not innocent. But if you didn't create the situation, there would be nothing to leverage. This is a typical progressive line. I hear it in America all the time. The corporations, the corporations, the corporations. No. They're just operating on what you set up for them. If there were no carbon taxes, the prices wouldn't be high. If you didn't print money, inflation wouldn't be high. But you did, and they're taking advantage of it. So it's a double whammy on normal people. But you created this situation for them to take advantage of. So, Jagmeet, you keep saying the same thing over and over and over. We get it, but we really get it. We see through it. Canada, ignore Jagmeet. All he's doing is doing the blocking for Trudeau. Both of them have to go. To all my Canadian American friends, if you like what we do on the front line, I'm asking you to give $1. Just $1. Production costs money. We do it for you. We are self-funded, and $1 goes a long way. That's less than a cup of coffee. In Canada, a cup of coffee might cost $5, so you're getting off easy. Please, just give us $1, and we'll keep the content coming your way. God bless you, and remember, stay free.